Hi YouTube!
Hi YouTube!
Today we're going to talk about our natural tooth care. So to start off, we'll give you a little bit of background. Justin and I both went to the dentist as kids, but since we got married, which is in 3.5 years, and maybe a little before that too, we were not going to the dentist regularly, and honestly not taking great care of our teeth. So in September, Justin went to the dentist for the first time in, well, back it up a little bit. Actually, one time since our marriage, he had been to the dentist because he had an abscess in one of his teeth, and he had to have that tooth extracted. And
the tooth was cracked. I had a root canal done on the tooth
in the past,
back in the day, and it turned out like the root canal was good, but they couldn't. But it was like not actually the problem. The tooth was like just almost cracked, so it took a couple of years, and then once it cracked, it got infected, and then my whole jaw swole up. It was crazy. It was really bad.
So that was the one time he had been to the dentist since we'd been married until last September of 2014. Right. And he got dental insurance through his work, so we found a family practice locally, and he went, and we didn't get great news, which was not surprising since we hadn't been to the dentist in a long time, and we hadn't been taking great care of our teeth. So we got a lot of encouragement from the dentist to start doing different, a different routine of oral hygiene. Wow, that was like a tongue twister. Also, he had 2 cavities, and
I think he had 3 or 4.
Or 3 cavities. He had some cavities, and obviously the dentist recommended for him to get them filled. But
they still keep pushing it too. Get them filled. It's when do you want to schedule your filling? We can do it today. I'm like, no.
I had heard before about remineralizing your teeth. And so I was interested when I heard that he had cavities. I said, well, would you be willing to try healing them naturally? I'm very much a proponent of a wait and see approach. Avoid medical interventions when possible. I definitely believe Western medicine is great when you have an emergency and when you need it. Yeah, take advantage when you need it. But if you don't need it, I like to kind of wait and see. So I read a book called Cure Tooth Decay by Ramiel Nagel. I don't know if that's how you say his name. But it's all about how basically our diet is lacking, and that's the reason we have so many problems with our teeth. And that just like bones, your teeth should be able to heal themselves, but because of our lacking diet, they don't, and we require, conventional dentistry. So there's a lot involved, and we'll post a few links below that you can go and research if you'd like to. But basically, one of the things that we started doing to try and heal our tooth decay is we use this cod liver oil. It's green pasture, blue ice, fermented cod liver oil. This one is the non-flavored. We prefer the flavored ones, but I experimented with all the flavors. So this cost us about $30 a bottle, which is pricey. It lasts us about 3 weeks to a month. It should last 3 weeks if we took it every single day, but we tend to miss a few days here and there, so it lasts us about a month. We take it just orally.
Lots of
we
water.
take about a teaspoon a night, each of us.
I guess so.
Yeah. Or 5 milliliters.
Yeah, I go by the 5 milliliters for some reason.
But this is really high in minerals and vitamins, especially vitamin D. And we don't have any proof yet that our teeth are healing, but I do feel like they are healthier than they have been. So in about another 6 months, we'll maybe make the determination of whether they are going to heal naturally or we'll need to go with the conventional dentistry. But that's one of the steps we're taking to try and heal them naturally now. So in addition to taking the oil, we also upped our oral hygiene Justin can talk a little about that.
So so after I got home from the dentist the first time, Bethany was like, yeah, so do you want to try, do you want to try like healing your cavities naturally, or do you want to just, not do that at all? And I was like, well, I guess if you want to do it, then I guess I can do it. So we got the fish oil, and then the first thing that Bethany was like, how do you brush your teeth the right way? Like we were watching videos on YouTube of like people, I think they were dentists or dental hygienists, and like, how do you brush your teeth the right way? And
just to be sure we weren't wasting our time with the methods we were using,
which were not
clearly they weren't working very well for us.
So we ended up buying this fancy toothbrush. It's Oral-B, and it's a electric, if you can tell by the cord.
It's the Oral-B Precision 1000.
Okay.
And it cost us $40 on
$40, and we use this handle, and then we have both of us, and we have our own little brushes. So that way we don't have to buy two toothbrushes. We just switch the head on them. It's much cheaper than I guess buying a bunch of these guys, which would be $100 for the both of us. And it's been working pretty well. It's like pretty easy. It goes on like 15 or 30 second intervals.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. So it tells you when you're supposed to switch
quadrants.
Yeah. So you do like the inside of the bottom, inside of the top, outside of the top, outside of the bottom, and then we also brush our tongue too. So that, and then we also started flossing. Yeah, that was a big one. And the first at first we were kind of fighting over like when you should floss. For me, it was like we're supposed to floss at the end of the night so that when you brush your teeth and go to bed, there's not all that stuff sitting in there. And Bethany was flossing her teeth in the morning.
Well, I actually had been flossing my teeth for a year or so regularly, like at least 5 times a week. I tried to go for every day, but at least 5 times a week. And how I got into that habit was I just forced myself to do it every morning. So I was in the habit of doing it in the morning. And honestly, you could do it in the morning or the evening. It's just important that you floss your teeth at least once a day.
That's everything that we saw. It always said, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you could probably analyze them both, and they'd probably be, I think that it would be better to do it at night, but everybody says as long as you're flossing and you're doing a good job when you're flossing, then it doesn't matter. Like, as long as, like, the people who floss at all have better teeth than the people who, or better gums than the people who don't floss. So that's that. And then we also, Bethany made, recently my dental hygienist said to start using a mouthwash. So Bethany made a mouthwash.
Because again, conventional mouthwashes do not rate well with the environmental working group. I talked about them in our natural cleaning video, but if you don't know about them, they're a database that rates ingredients in products. They rate cosmetics, they rate cleaning products, they rate food, they just rate all kinds of things. So you can go on there and look up the product you use and see what kind of rating. For cosmetics or personal care products, they rate on a scale of 0 to 10. So 0 is safe for your family. Like 0, 1, and 2 are safe for your family. And then above that are, toxic things you want to avoid. But so most mouthwashes contain alcohol, which is really not good for your mouth. It can cause cancer, or it is alleged to cause cancer. And also they're not very cheap. So I looked for a recipe on Pinterest to make my own mouthwash, and I came up with this one, which works fairly well, and it's super cheap. All it is some water, filtered water, a few teaspoons of baking soda, and then some drops of tea tree oil, which is antibacterial, and some drops of peppermint oil, which definitely gives it a better flavor. I don't know if there's another property as well that helps clean your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But so we use that each night. And then our toothpaste that we use is this Earth Paste, natural toothpaste. It's actually, it's like brown or gray in color. I don't know if you can see that very well. This rates about a 1 on the EWG, and it's made with clay. It doesn't have any fluoride, and it's not, bleached. That's why it's that color. So.
Yeah, when our family has come up and they've used this toothpaste, they're like, I don't know if I can get over the color, and we're just like, that's what it's supposed to look like, the Crest or the Colgate, whatever, the stuff that's blue or white, that stuff has been dyed or bleached or whatever, and that's not good for your teeth anyway.
So I actually have been to the dentist twice now this year. I went in, I think, January or February, and then I went again about 2 weeks ago, and I had great progress. The first appointment, obviously I hadn't been to the dentist in 4 or 5 years, so I had a really intense cleaning, and I did have 2 cavities they wanted to watch. And they wanted to see me back in 2 to 4 weeks, which is really fast. And I went back 2 months later because that was the soonest appointment that they had. And I didn't need a deep cleaning. I had pretty shallow pockets, and I don't need to come back for 6 months. So again, even though we don't have proof at this point that our natural tooth remedies are actually working and curing your tooth decay, I do feel like that was really good progress, and that it's definitely helping. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask them or leave them down below. If you potentially we could make a follow-up video, because I know this was a lot of information pretty fast. And let us know what kind of toothpaste you use.
Yeah.
So like this video if you enjoyed it.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.